Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm Mike, and welcome back for you returning viewers and subscribers and people. Today I was going to do something to keep in with the season that we're in right now, the Halloween. This is Halloween 2021. It doesn't seem like Halloween. It doesn't, since COVID, it's just everything seems kind of off a little bit. The only thing that really distinguishes Halloween for me this year is watching Halloween movies, scary movies, classic horror, new horror, slasher flicks, the Universal monster movies, all those. And so I thought I would show off some movies that I've actually, a few of these I've seen for the first time, and it's brand new. One of them's a box set that's brand new to me, and I've upgraded a couple of other sets, but the rest of them is kind of basically I would say it's probably most of my Hammer collection. So we're going to focus on Hammer Films, the British company from I think they started in the 40s, like the late 40s after World War II. They really started, their name really took on a life of its own in the 50s when they started making their monster movies. They started doing their own spin on Frankenstein and Dracula and the Mummy. And what was really different about those was lush, gothic, in color for the first time. Technicolor, the beautiful Technicolor of the 50s. Really just the sets and everything involved in it, which made it really good. It's like I can't even compare Frankenstein from 1931 to the Curse of Frankenstein, what was it, 1959 or whenever. It's like they're just two separate things, and I love both of them. So this year I thought I would focus on some of the lush gothic Technicolor offerings that Hammer has given us over the years, and go over some of those. Some of these are new. Some of them I got as far back as last Halloween, actually. They were new then, but they're not now. And a couple of other ones I've had for a while. But let me show you this new set that I got. This came out last year about this time, and it was a big deal. It is the Hammer 20 film collection, released by Mill Creek, and really awesome set. I recently bought this about a month ago, and I've been kind of diving into some of the episodes, and I've barely scratched the surface on this, but man, there's so many good movies on here. A lot of the 50s and 60s, and there might even be a 70s Hammer on here, possibly, maybe early 70s maybe, but just to kind of read off some of the things, we got the Revenge of Frankenstein, which was one of the things I really wanted this set. I was trying to find it, individually, and I thought, it'd be really dumb to just get a single release of it, and instead of just biting the bullet, spend a little bit more money and just get the whole 20 film set, which will give you more variety, which is what I ended up doing. But some highlights on this set that I've seen so far, of course, the Revenge of Frankenstein, which is actually I believe the second in the Frankenstein series. Another one that's really good on here that I had never seen before. It's from 1961. It's called Scream of Fear, and it's a really good movie, man. It had like double. It's like that ending that it was like an ending I didn't see happening, but then another ending that I didn't see happening. So it was like, man, they just like gave you a 1-2 punch at the end of this movie, and I really enjoyed it. Scream of Fear. That was really good. Movies like they got on here, the 62 version of The Old Dark House, which is, pretty good, updating. It's in black and white. I think that was one of the William Castle movies. It's got the Gorgon on here, which is the first time that I've had the Gorgon. The Snorkel, which was a really interesting movie too, which was really good, 1958. Die, Die, My Darling, which is, a classic, really good. Movies like The Stranglers of Bombay, The Terror of the Tongs, The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, and These Are the Damned, just to name a few. But yeah, there's 20 movies on here, ranging, throughout the years. Mainly the 50s and 60s. A lot of really good stuff on here. And I like how they kind of mixed it up. They put a little bit of everything. They put a little bit of their detective stories, their Alfred Hitchcock type mystery thrillers. They put their horror movies. They put, there's a pirate movie on here called The Pirates of Blood River, which is just a lot of fun. They're just a lot of fun, and everything. So yeah, it's a really good set. It will probably set you back at least $50. I found a pretty good deal on this. Of course, it was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend, but hey, you're getting 20 beautiful prints on Mill Creek. So Mill Creek really has done a great job on this. I mean, as always, they don't really include anything like booklets, and they don't really have a lot of extras. As far as extras on these movies, a lot of them has either trailer or they'll have an audio commentary on a few of them. What's really cool is they all have subtitles, because I don't know, I like putting the subtitles on when I'm like laying in bed, just to kind of see the script, and but that's about it. They put a little booklet in here, but Mill Creek is stepping up their game a little bit, I believe. I think they're really coming into their own, continuing to put out really good stuff. But yeah, they all look great on there, so I highly recommend the Hammer set. Next up, I want to show, this is actually from Shout Factory. Let me show all of these. Okay, and this is actually the first in the series of Frankenstein movies that Hammer did. This was originally released through Warner Brothers in the States. But this is Shout Factory's, or no, actually this is just regular Warner Brother release. I'm sorry. But man, this is a great release. So many extra stuff. This was a lot of people's on their top 10 list last year of releases. We had the Mystery of the Wax Museum and stuff like that. And definitely the Curse of Frankenstein was one of the best releases of last year. I mean, they really put some cool stuff on here on the extras. This was actually the first, I believe this is the first in the Hammer Frankensteins. It was called the Curse of Frankenstein. Basically opens with him in prison, kind of basically telling the priest of like what happened. This is the true story. This is what happened. This is what I did. And it kind of tells the basic story as we know Frankenstein there in that one. And so, the Frankenstein tale. But what's cool on this is the disc 1 has, it's got two different aspect ratio scans. You can see you can either watch it in 185 or you can watch it in 166, and this is all from a 4K scan. It looks really good, man. That Technicolor just pops, really good black, and the color is just really good. It just really looks great. But you have both of those versions on disc 1, and then disc 2 has a lot of cool stuff. It has yet another aspect ratio version of the movie. It's got the 137 open matte version on disc 2, so it gives you three options of watching this, because a lot of times movies would be released to theaters that weren't equipped with widescreen. And this was actually during a time period where they were really experimenting with widescreen. So you had, CinemaScope came out in 1953 with a 2:3:5 ratio. And then by the time this movie came around in 1958, they were experimenting with stuff like 1:6:6, which, Paramount movies would be VistaVision, would be considered a VistaVision type ratio. 1:3:7, of course, is just, a square, just regular classic look. 1:3:7, 1:3:3. So what they did was on the second one, they did the open matte, which is kind of like you're going to see all the headroom. You're going to see more headroom than you're going to see width. So, which a lot of times film companies would, box it or mat it out so it would look good on TV and stuff like that. So it's really cool for the film nerds out there that you just have so many different little versions to play around with and look at and stuff. But yeah, it's also got it's got 4 new documentaries, basically talking about the look of the film, the writing, the story behind it, the actors and everything. So it's really good. I mean, it's just a really great classic movie, classic horror release, and I highly recommend The Curse of Frankenstein. Definitely start there, and when you're diving in, getting Hammer horror movies, definitely start there. Now it said the second one was on the Hammer box set. What was it? The Curse. Was it no, not the Curse, the Revenge of Frankenstein, which picks up after everything ends in the first movie, and then the third movie would come out. This is from Scream Factory. This is the Evil Frankenstein. This would be the third one, and this is really good. You got Peter Cushing's back, directed by Freddie Francis. It's got a smorgasbord of extras on here. Really, really good audio commentary, all kinds of good stuff on there. Plus, it looks really good. Scream Factory did a really good job on these. It's got a slip cover, or at least I have the slip cover, and I got the alternate artwork for that. But yeah, that's another one. You're going to get into these Frankensteins. You're going to want to get each one. So that was Evil Frankenstein. And then this is another Scream Factory release. We're heading into the 60s, and this is from 1967. This is Frankenstein Created Woman, which is a really interesting movie where he creates, a woman, Frankenstein, out of parts and stuff. This is a 2K scan, a new 2K scan. It's very similar to the other one. It's got extras and bonuses and featurettes and stuff. Really worth the money. Again, really cool slipcase. Really cool. So yeah, there you go. Frankenstein Created Woman. And then finally, as far as the Frankenstein hammers go, this is the one I have. I don't know if I'm missing. I may be missing one. I'm not sure. But Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed is the one. Now, this came out by Warner Brothers. Released this. This would be the fifth. I think this is the fifth one. And Terrence Fisher's back to direct it. It's got a great cast. Veronica Carlson, Freddie Jones. Really good. Great movie. This was one I remember seeing a lot on TV. Every year, I would always catch this somehow, and it was always on, and it's really good, where he basically holds this couple captive. He kind of blackmails this couple so he can use their basement as a laboratory, and it kind of plays into Frankenstein Created Woman, with following a character from that movie into this movie where he's trying to do a brain transplant. It's a ton of fun, guys. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Okay, next up we have a vampire movie. Now this is another beautiful release from Scream Factory. These are really nice. I got these on Amazon back when, And all these Scream Factories have these really cool slipcases. This movie, Kiss of the Vampire. This is really nice. It's got a cool slipcase with alternate artwork. It's a new 4K scan. It's got just a bunch of good stuff on here, deleted scenes. I really enjoyed this movie. This is one of the new ones I bought, and I had never seen this, and I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. I like the one of the cast, one of the, what do you call it, supporting players, kind of like the vampire hunter guy, where he had killed his wife and daughter, or just killed his daughter or something like that. So now he's bent on killing this faction of vampires that live in this town, and they basically run the town, and they live in this castle, and it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. It's short and sweet. It's not very long. Well, 88 minutes, but it seems like it just bang zoom. It's a lot of fun. But Kiss of the Vampire, it's really good. And next up, I got another great release. Now, this is one of the classic. These are the classic ones with Christopher Lee as Dracula. This is a beautiful release from Scream Factory. This is Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Again, we got another slipcase with the artwork. On this one, we got another 4K scan. We got a documentary. We got one of the older World of Hammer TV show. It's got an episode from that. But yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, Christopher Lee was one of the best Draculas, in my opinion. He really was. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the many Draculas. I think they made about 5 or 6 Hammer Draculas, I believe, maybe more, because this was their bread and butter, was Frankenstein and Dracula. And really, Dracula, I think, was probably more popular for Hammer. But yeah, this is a great release. Looks really good. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. And finally, guys, this is one of the other franchises within Hammer that they started with, based on the classic Universal monster characters. This is the first in a series of movies based on the Mummy. This is the DVD version from Warner Brothers of the Mummy. There is a Blu-ray floating around out there, but it's out of print, and it's very expensive if you find a copy of it. Especially if you snoop around Amazon or eBay, you're going to find some really expensive versions of it. But I have my good old DVD, which looks great. It's a great story. I really enjoyed this Mummy. Again, this was one of the ones that would always be on TV every year around Halloween and stuff, and I would always catch this and stuff. So, but yeah, the Mummy from this was probably, what was this, 1959? Yeah, 1959. So basically they did their Frankenstein first, and then I think they did the Mummy, and then Dracula or something like that. But yeah, there you go. Some of the Hammer horror movies. These are some of the ones, the most famous ones. Basically, you got Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Mummy and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I highly recommend that Hammer box set. It's really good. It's got a lot of different stuff on there, which is really cool. But yeah, definitely check out those Scream Factory Hammer releases with the slip cases. They're 4K remasters, cleaned up, look really great. Especially the Curse of Frankenstein is a must-see. Definitely get that. That's the one with all the multiple aspect ratios on there, the Curse of Frankenstein. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. This is just I guess it's just a little episode just to kind of throw out some Halloween stuff. But I really enjoy Hammer, and basically watched Hammer this year. Last year I watched a lot of Vincent Price with the Roger Corman Poe adaptations that I love those every year. And it's like I've got to watch at least some Vincent Price just to kind of mix it up. But yeah, I really do. I really love the British Gothic, horror stories, the vampires and stuff like that. It's really cool. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't already subscribed, check out subscribing to my channel and hit the bell so you're notified when I release a new episode. And if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and comment. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on Hammer. So until next time, guys, have a safe and happy Halloween. And I will see you guys again in another episode. Goodbye.